I told you boys that Lloyd's TSB shut down my account when I tried to buy gold years ago. I'd have been up 50x on
Yeah,
that.
that's crazy.
Yo, Lloyd's shut you. This
Insane.
is why. What did this tell you?
They always block
They
stuff
said
like that, and
they
Bit
shut
and
my
crypto
account.
too.
I tried to buy with a debit card. I tried to buy bullion. This is not me
Bullion.
buying stock. I'm literally trying to buy a block of
like
gold.
proper blocks, yeah.
Yeah. And it just shut my account down. I was in New York at the time. They're like, no, you have to come into the.
Oh, yeah,
have to
you
come
told me you
into
had
the
to fly back.
branch. I flew back. So not only am I in the red on my missed trade there, I went out of my pocket to fly back to withdraw the cash and shut my account down. Terrible, man.
You know what? You
Digital
don't
ID.
need to fly across the world to move. That is also
Exactly,
a fixed
amen.
supply asset.
You
It was
don't
that-
even need to give us the answer.
It was that moment when Jack found crypto. Like literally, Jack's like,
Honestly,
this
it
is
wasn't.
Well,
It wasn't long
yeah.
after that. That's a good origin story. I could crowbar that into a more
No, you
coherent.
should, right? It's like that was the moment when you realized
Money ain't
the
yours.
old banking. Yeah, the money ain't yours.
Welcome to another episode of Not Investment Advice. You got Trung Phan, Jack Butcher, Bilal Zaidi. Boys, lots to talk about. We're going to be doing a meme in a week, bringing it back. We haven't done one for a while, so we
This
kind
is
of forget to do
very
it, to be honest.
bro.
Yeah, we got lots to talk about. Trung was talking about not investment advice, but he was buying gold right at the top. So we got to talk about that, bringing it
He
back
was
to
in the
fiat.
queues.
Fan.
You know those pictures you saw on Twitter of people
Yeah,
queuing
yeah.
outside
Yeah.
the shop?
Put it at Costco. No.
Now that I'm buying gold, the top is in, boys.
There we go. Exactly. Yeah. We got to get you on the inverse Trung tracker. We also want to talk, because Jack's here with Trung, we want to talk about your Scotland trip a little bit, get a little bit of insight, because that was a few weeks ago. But also on the big tech side, we've got Amazon is laying off 30,000 people in corporate, reportedly.
Crazy.
A lot of this is down to automation, robotics, AI.
No, this is separate. This is separate
Oh,
from
is
the
it?
warehouse.
Oh, sorry, this is
like-
separate to the
This
warehouse,
is like
okay.
you, me,
Just
like
corp.
fake laptop jobs.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Although I know I don't want to say that. Like 30,000.
No,
is crazy,
100%.
bro. And,
Oh, yeah, no, I'm talking
it
about us
sounds
being
like,
fake laptop jobs.
we're fake. They were doing real work.
100%.
It
They're
sounds
doing
like
the real work.
It sounds like it was over hiring during COVID. So that
Yeah, a little legacy hiring there. And
Yeah.
we'll see what else we get to. Jack had a thing about embedded links on X. And then also AI music. Have you guys been seeing AI music popping off, boys? I've been seeing some absolute bangers. The
Well,
50
shout out
Cent,
to Mikey Schulman, CEO of Suno, former
There
co-worker
we go.
at Kensho.
friend of the pod, aka friend of Trung.
Legendary.
There
Legend.
So, boys, let's get started with the Bojo, Boris Johnson talking about, we need to capture this on the pod. So let me quickly just share my screen.
I love AI. Do you use AI? Absolutely. Do you use ChatGPT? Do you love ChatGPT? I love ChatGPT. I love it. ChatGPT is fantastic.
This guy knows what he's doing.
ChatGPT.
What do you use it for?
Who says ChatGPT like that? He must be doing this. He knows what he's doing, yeah? He must be getting that going. He knows a good viral clip like anyone else. But anyway, boys, we needed to get that on the pod. Where do we want to go first? Since we're in
start
the
with the automation,
British
the
Isles,
Amazon.
do you want to talk about your Scotland trip? Or let's save that for a little bit later. Let's go Amazon. Trung, we saw there's reports of 30,000 people losing their jobs in corp, like we just said. Is it mostly by AI, they're saying, in this case? What's AI? Trung is posting a tweet right now. What's going on?
No, I know, man.
Are you looking it up? Oh, wait, he's posted a tweet. Go on, Trung. Yeah, what's the vibe with Amazon laying off 30,000
so two things
people?
came back to back, right? It's like the news that I think they're gonna lay off 16,000 corporate, which is crazy.
I thought
man.
it's 30,000, or is
No,
that including?
up to 30, depending. 30,000 is insane. I mean, we should probably look up right now, like sizes for a lot of white collar companies. But like
That's a
McKinsey
lot.
employs 40,000 people, right? So 30,000 employees at Amazon. I think it's about 10% of the workforce.
Yeah, 350,000. The corporate is.
Corporate, yeah.
Corporate is
comes on top-
350. That's not including warehouse. Warehouse must be like a million or something.
It says 1.5 million altogether. So
That's
just
crazy.
over a million in the warehouse. Yeah.
I'm already thinking the automation side, right? This comes off the news of, you guys saw the New York Times got their hands on a report, internal document from Amazon. This was the thing that was going viral on X maybe 4 or 5 days ago. But the TLDR is they're automating like crazy to the point of they're expecting the entire warehouse operation to be automated by 75%. So Jack, as the resident warehouse former employee here, this is what they claim. I want to know if any of this registers with you. So they came up with a new system called the Vulcan system, which uses generative AI to create the sense of touch. So I'll show you the video, but they built something that can feel now, because before, so call it 2-3 years ago during COVID when they went crazy on robotics, the picking machines used camera vision, which we all understand, and suction cups, so it doesn't damage things if you use suction cups. But the new thing they know has a sense of touch. So what they're saying basically is that this thing can handle 75% of the 1 million unique items in an Amazon warehouse. Before, you're talking 50-60%. So this is a huge step towards full automation. Let me just show you what this machine looks like. We don't need the audio here, but I think what's interesting about it is I actually want Jack's thoughts on this as a former warehouse expert. Okay, so here's the machine. So you guys see the machine here?
Trung, is this on LinkedIn? I see you.
No, this is CNBC. But I did put, okay, here it is. So here's a machine. It's just a gripper. You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's nothing
As opposed
special.
to what? It was just like picking up a tray before or something.
With a suction cups.
That diagram looks so funny with the teddy bear.
Yeah,
It's
no.
like, head
They're
down.
demonstrating that before you couldn't. AI has made it so it can actually feel now, which is pretty interesting. So Jack, 75% automation, just top line. What does that sound and feel like to you in a warehouse environment?
Well, I wonder how. I'm trying to figure out what part of the process it's actually automating, because they obviously put these things out to pick orders.
Yep.
I would imagine almost 100% of that is, or maybe it depends on the scale of the items or something. To me, I'm not following why that would be faster. The gripping thing feels like
no labor.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm just saying, like, I'm just confused as to how the like items are laid out that it would make it easier for that thing to pick it up. You know, my experience in quote unquote warehouses is building cars.
Yeah, assembly line.
Yeah, which I think at this point, like, even, well, it's been 15 years since I was in that. Like, how many people are involved in building a Tesla now? Like,
yeah,
very, very few hands-on roles in the constructing a vehicle. But the order picking stuff, obviously there's so I'm trying to understand the difference between this grabbing and the suction cup thing, and I'm assuming that the grabbing, like the teddy bear, is just a weird example too. You know, it feels to me like the arcade machines where you go and grab the
that never.
That's what I was thinking
so
of. Yeah.
Rigged. I know those machines are rigged because my son was losing so many times at one of those games at a carnival. The guy just opened the door and gave him a teddy bear.
Yeah, they just let go before before it retracts.
No, but Jack, sorry, just to clarify here, you're right. You've identified a couple points. It is a 3-part system, which I should have clarified. And the gripper, it can hold more things than a suction cup, right? Because now you're trying to replace human labor. That's the point here. Human, they've gone to about 50% with the suction cups. They've added another 25% with the gripper because it has a sense of touch and it won't destroy things, right? Like if you have a bag of Skittles, you want different pressure versus a textbook. This is literally what they talk about. And this is all AI, right?
I get all of this. My part where my understanding is breaking down is like, what is the format of the box of Skittles that it's grabbing from?
Oh no! So this is the crazy thing. It's all they've algoed the warehouse where they'll like literally put a single item somewhere. A single item will just be sitting on like a stand, and that's more efficient than like people running around getting things, right? It's just like they've moved things where they can get the Skittles all the way in the back of the warehouse, and it'll just make its way to like where it needs to be on 100 yards otherwise, and then and then the gripper will grab it. To your point, yeah, there's more than just a gripper. The gripper has unlocked how many things they can do without humans. And let me throw this number out, which was the headline number, which got people really lit up. They're saying because of this, they'll have 160,000 less hires they need to make in the next 2 years. That's 300,000 less hires in the next 5 years. To mind you, they employ 1.5 million people in the warehouses. Like they're one of the largest employers in America. So people are saying, oh, wow, Amazon's becoming a net job destroyer now, even though they're one of the largest employers, which is, both of those statements are true. The other thing that's basically being said, though, by Amazon, I don't know how accurate or how real this will come to fruition. They're like, well, we'll just create new jobs. You have robot maintenance people. And we'll do more deliveries in rural areas because now it's economical because we're saving 30 cents on each item, which is their top line thing they're saying. So they're saying big job loss in the warehouse. We're going to create new ones, delivering to rural areas and fixing robots. Throw that to you guys.
Yeah, seems consistent.
With, I mean, just it just seems like where they would have always been going. And I did work in a warehouse once. I forgot to bring that up. I worked for Aldi. I've told you boys that job now.
You worked at a grocery warehouse.
I worked at an Aldi warehouse for a few summers back in the day, and you would get like the dot matrix printout, and you would drive a forklift around and manually pick the boxes, stack them up on pallets.
Incredible.
Do you remember what year this was, Jack? Roughly like mid 2000s, end of 2000?
Yeah, it would have been like 2005, 2006.
Yeah, I got you. I was just trying to place it compared to what it would be like now. So 20 years ago, pretty much.
No, but Jack, when you were there, were you like, this is going to be fully automated? It's like, it's so obvious. Were you
I had
ever
no
thinking
idea. No clue, no.
You're giving Jack a lot of credit 20 years ago.
He's like, I would have bought Amazon. I would have bought Amazon in 2001.
Me and the boys that used to work there, we got paid by the hour and we used to try and go as fast as we could. So dumb. Like racing each other.
There you go.
And we'd make I think it was probably, I don't know, it was good money back then. Was probably
for a student job too,
£7 an hour or something,
Killing it.
£7 an hour, so 14 US.
I would have spent it by the next day every time,
At night.
The exact.
At Greg's. And the pub.
I used to go to this place in Swindon called Sonny's, a little pool hall. Get a couple of Pepsis, a KFC on the way home.
Yeah.
That'd be all my
bucket
all my
for yourself.
Tanked. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that I'm assuming that's all changed now to the point where you would even have somebody unloading the pallet full of product, lining it all up. Then you print out the thing. Then you have somebody else going out on another pallet to divide it all up. And eventually they'll just cut out all the parts of that process, right? It's just these things will just get assembled as they need to be assembled and go straight to the store. They're literally collapsing buildings that are part of the step-by-step process that will no longer need to be there if you can intervene higher up the supply chain, which is what all of this is doing, right? It's just further and further abstracted away. And then the Amazon, it's one of the most impressive companies of human history. Right? It's just unbelievable the stuff that you can get sent to your house on 5 hours.
I literally ordered a toilet plumber
this?
and it came 2 hours later. I want you to think about that. My toilet was jammed. I needed a plumber and I was too lazy to drive down the street. So it was jammed, but I didn't need to take a shit.
You're creating jobs, Tron.
Wait, Jack, well, here, Bilal, I wanted your thoughts on this, on the layout. Listen, we're not, no one's laughing about the job loss, people. I think, but there is obviously a sense here to Jack's, when Jack was working forklift racing in 2001.
2005.
Right? 2005.
There you go.
If you were watching somebody forklift race and you're a technologist, you wouldn't think to yourself hey, this will probably get automated one day. And
probably not, no.
And listen, all I'm gonna say is there's a grim feeling to a lot of this. I am hopeful that a lot of new jobs will come out of this. That's just a reality. There's just jobs that you will not expect. I think, dude, we're gonna see headlines Amazon hires 10,000 people to maintain robots. That's coming. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Literally to grease robots.
There's a robot that maintains the robots.
Yeah. Now, boys, have you been to Sweet Green recently? This is old news, but let me just show my screen
They
real
have
quick.
salad make the robot.
Yeah, look at
salad
this.
maker.
Can you see this? This is a 10-second clip. Can you guys see that all right?
Oh man, yeah.
This is from 2023. They announced it ages ago, but I went there yesterday and I was like speaking to the lady who works there, and she was like, yeah, I'll just put the dressing on the side. There was just a machine that did this for me. And I was like trying to get a sneak peek in the back, but obviously you can't be doing that. But
This is actually in process now.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
works
yeah.
now.
This in Brooklyn,
wow.
yeah. And it was
Somebody just shoveling shit in the top of the tubes. That's
I
the
guess
only
so.
job.
I guess so, yeah.
That might even be automated.
Yeah, seriously. No, the
coming,
one thing
yeah.
I will say is this is an idea. Well, the context with Sweetgreen is they were losing a lot of money for a long time. And I haven't looked at the stock for a while, but they probably still are losing a bunch of money. But this idea that prices will come down because of this, like in reality, what normally happens is costs come down. The price doesn't necessarily come down for the consumer straight away. Maybe if there's more competition, if everyone's doing this, maybe the supply and demand will bring the price down. But I know Travis, the Uber founder, is working on something similar with
Cloud kitchens.
robotics, cloud
Ghost
kitchens.
kitchen
But then
stuff,
on
yeah.
top of that now is related to
fully
automation.
automated, yeah.
Yeah, and I've heard him talk about like making a burrito for like $5 or something.
dude, I gotta ask you guys this.
selling
It's
it for
just like-
$5 versus 12 or whatever.
The restaurant experience, there's going to be massive delta in having proper restaurant experience, right? Like Dishoom. I went to Dishoom in Glasgow. Man, they run an incredible Jack, have you been in Dishoom?
In London, yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
boy. They're coming to New York actually.
They are next year
that right?
after they got invested by
BSG
LVMH.
BCG
Is it?
boys, I think. They're like proper
Old matey.
Your old matey, no, what?
Old
El
matey loves some
Catterton,
Indian food, you
He
know what I
owns
mean?
40% of El Catterton, the private equity company. And actually, this is an interesting point that we can just kind of small a sidebar here. If anybody, who do you follow in a world of abundance but we still need status? You watch what LVMH is doing, right? You watch where they're allocating their capital. And actually, so 3 days before they invested in Dishoom at a $400 million valuation, they bought the world's largest Wagyu beef restaurant chain. So there's some things to think about. IRL experiences, Lux Fine Dining, that's what LVMH is putting their capital towards, or LVMH
Yeah.
Link.
It is funny, Dishoom, because
Interesting.
when I first went there, I was like, oh, this is actually legit food. The vibe's good. Then when I looked up the guys, they were like BCG
HBS.
or like, Harvard Business
Bain
School,
and
private
HBS.
equity guys. Yeah, Bain, you're right, exactly. Nothing wrong with that. That's great. But just I was hoping it was like some grandma, like my friend's cousins, like uncle or something.
Well,
But
Bilal,
no.
you know those curry houses.
There's lots
they
of
ain't
those,
doing
to
so
be
well
fair, in
anymore,
London.
though.
Oh, yeah, in general? I haven't been following.
Well,
What's the vibe?
I don't know if you got. I mean, we can do a whole segue on that, but let's not do that just now. We're still
No,
talking.
but what do you
Amazon.
mean? Just real quick, though. What do you mean? Just
Oh, the no-
restaurants
so,
are struggling, you mean?
Oh yeah, they are struggling big time. I can tell you, I just spent the last 72 hours reading about curry houses. So
Wait.
I-
That's the most. You got to add that to the top
You know
five
what?
most random things Trung
we're
said on
gonna-
this pod.
No, because I'm ready. I just wrote 5,000 essay on Dishoom, and so they're
Oh,
very
no way.
vocal.
Okay.
Nice.
So you know what I'll do?
Yeah.
We'll do this. Let's end this with the Scotland curry houses thing because I have a lot of questions for Bilal. Okay, Amazon. So let me.
On the curry houses there, I get you.
No, I do.
It
I
makes
well,
sense.
Bilal, what I want to ask Jack? Come on here. No, but
I
you
mean,
guys will
Jack's
laugh.
probably had a good amount of Indian food too.
This
but
is why.
no, obviously,
This is why it's funny. You want to know who the number one seller of curries in UK is? Weatherspoon.
Tesco.
Oh,
Weatherspoon.
That's a good.
Great shout.
$6 Thursdays.
Curry night, Wednesdays.
Yeah, Wednesday. Okay, hold on a second. So let me end the Amazon thing with this. It's top level feels kind of grim, but I also want people to get more fulfilling jobs, which is why there's a very interesting quote that was given, cited here by a great Twitter account, mostly borrowed ideas. You guys know MBI. You've sent me a couple of links before. He does great coverage on Google. But he was telling this Amazon story, then relaying a quote from Milton Friedman, the economist. Milton Friedman went to Asia to do like a country by country tour. I'm going to read you this story and you guys tell me what you think. So at one of our dinners, Milton Friedman recalled traveling to an Asian country in the 1960s and visiting a work site where a new canal was being built. He was shocked to see that instead of modern tractors and earth movers, the workers had shovels. He asked why there are so few machines. The government bureaucrat explained, "You don't understand, this is a jobs program." To which Milton replied, "Oh, I thought you were trying to build a canal. If it's a job you want, then you should have these workers use a spoon instead of a shovel." It's like the warehouse work is, by all accounts, terrible, right? It's like hot conditions, monotonous, 10 hours a day. It's like, is there a way we can, I mean, the 1.6 million people is a lot. And then on the other end, robots are taking all the white collar jobs.
And then the Waymo and, you know, the self-driving cars and
so
trucks.
I'm just wondering,
that's how
you're
many
right.
million jobs
That's
too.
where it gets scary with this recent wave, right? Is like, what is, basically everyone's have to become like a nurse, right? Is like, effectively. Because that's the stuff that you don't expect robots to be do with the EQ side. But again, man, who knows with the amount of model training? Maybe they got some of these robots got better EQ than me, if we're being honest. But I'll just end it on that note. Is like, yeah, it's a big news story because it's hitting on the nerve of a lot of like promise of technology, fears of employment. So that's the TLDR on my side.
It does feel like jobs are legit. I know there's a lot of hype about it, but it's like across sectors. It's not just white collar jobs. It's not just Uber drivers. Who else was I speaking to recently that was, or anyway, I can't remember. There was someone who was being asked about this and they were like, I don't like it because they're going to replace us. And it's just like legit happening. I mean, the Waymo coming to London, did we talk about that last week? I can't remember. Waymo's coming to London. That's a big...
Because the taxi drivers in London are famous, right? The black cabbies.
The black cabs. And you can remember what happened when Uber and Lyft came. Lyft came later, but when Uber came to London, it was a massive deal. And then they're quite protected there. So even now, I'm actually curious to see what's going to happen because just culturally, I have a feeling like people hope this doesn't happen, but like set fire to those cars and stuff. Like I bet there'll be people like protesting them, and like as a symbol of what's resistance or whatever, they're gonna target those things. Because if you just think like the sentiment in Europe in general is a lot less pro technology companies versus here, and here it's already changed quite significantly as well. So it'll be interesting to see how they deal with that. But then at the same time, I bet lots of people are going to use it and be like, actually, this is completely fine. It's like if it's a little bit cheaper, they'll use it.
Waymo definitely is not. I think Waymo was always more expensive, but people are willing to pay for the privacy.
For the novelty at the moment?
Yeah, and the privacy. You don't have
that's
to
interesting. It's more expensive. I didn't realize that. That's kind of wild. For the privacy? That's...
Yeah, you don't have to talk to anybody. You're just by yourself.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I mean, listen, you want to get creepy, like maybe...
There you go. Yeah, if you're Trung getting wilding up in the Waymo, backseat of the Waymo.
Wilding in the Waymo sounds like an MTV show.
That sounds like a movie that's made in 2030 with
Ashton Kutcher.
Exactly. All right, boys, next topic. Was there anything else on Scotland, Trung, you wanted to talk about from your trip?
No, we can add that in the end. Amazon's wrapped up. Yeah.
Debasement trade. We did touch on it a few weeks ago, but what's been going on? Trunk's been buying the top a little bit. No, I'm messing around, but no, the gold has taken a 5% hit in the last week or so. It's still up 50%.
I mean, dude,
plus
gold
this
was
year.
moving like a freaking meme coin, right? This is like
insane.
This is what people were losing their mind about.
But the debasement trade is gold and Bitcoin, right? And Jack joked about it earlier before we recorded. And I was like, have we spoken about it in the pod? He's like, we've been speaking about it for 4 years or whatever.
It's the entire podcast.
Which is kind of true. But yeah, was there anything else on it, Trung, just in general, or Jack, from what you've been seeing?
I told you boys that Lloyd's TSB shut down my account when I tried to buy gold years ago. I'd have been up 50x on that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yo, Lloyd's shut you.
Insane.
This is why. What did this tell you?
They always block stuff like that, and crypto too.
I tried to buy with a debit card. I tried to buy bullion. This is not me buying stock. I'm literally trying to buy a block of gold.
Proper blocks, yeah.
And it just shut my account down. I was in New York at the time. They're like, no, you have to come into the...
Oh, yeah, you told me you had to fly back.
I flew back. So not only am I in the red on my missed trade there, I went out of my pocket to fly back to withdraw the cash and shut my account down. Terrible, man.
You know what? You don't need to fly across the world to move. That is also
Exactly,
a fixed
amen.
supply asset.
You
was
don't
that-
even need to give us the answer.
It was that moment when Jack found crypto. Like literally, Jack's like,
Honestly,
this
it
is
wasn't.
Well,
It wasn't long
yeah.
after that. That's a good origin story. I could crowbar that into a more.
No, you
coherent,
should, right? It's like that
Yeah.
was the moment when you realized
Money ain't
the
yours.
old banking. Yeah, the money ain't yours.
All right,
What's the
anything
thing it
else on
says? What is it? What's the thing? It
go on.
said, the money in your bank account is not yours and it's not money.
Oh yeah, somebody's doing like the
I
back
can't
of the
remember where I
envelope,
read
right?
that the first time around.
Well, it's
Yeah,
like the famous saying, the Holy Roman Empire was neither holy nor Roman nor an empire.
Yeah, there
So
you go, there
that's
you
the
go.
money in your bank is neither money nor is it yours nor is it in the bank.
Yeah.
I guess this
It's-
really
I
was
mean, it's
just
interesting
a
to
segue.
see that well, no, I think the thing to mention is also the like images going viral on Twitter the last few weeks of people literally queuing up to buy gold outside these issuers in mostly in Asia, right? A lot of those images were coming out of, and then Costco was front running that by what, a year or so. What was happening?
The one viral
Crazy,
clip
man.
we've got is Trung talking about that on our channel. Have you seen
Bro.
this, Trung?
Yeah.
No, they front
People in the
Jack,
comments going hard.
Jack, they front running by 2 years. They called
that's
it
true.
June 23. Gold has doubled since Costco started selling
There you
1
go.
ounce bricks at their warehouses.
Sick,
Man, this is why me and Jack love Costco, straight up.
Yeah. Well, the other, I guess the other thing is just like the prevalence of the meme or the gold price being this like warning sign or indicator of just general panic around
Ray Dalio.
economic conditions and monetary policy and all these things. And just to see it have a run like that and Bitcoin not follow it in a meaningful way, like momentum wise, you can view that as like people don't understand it yet, or it's not it. What do people call it? Like it's more of a like levered tech stock than it is like a debasement on a short time frame at least.
Yeah.
But if you, I don't know if I can pull this up.
No, it's Jack. It's over any 5-year time frame. It's been always been up. Granted, short history, but it's also, dude. Bitcoin is so mainstream now. Do you guys see this headline from Bloomberg? You guys might have sent it. Like a lot of Bitcoin whales are exchanging their Bitcoin to turn them into ETF shares, so they can just borrow against the ETFs. It's like completely mainstream. JP Morgan's out here. Jamie Dimon's out here. 2 years ago, calling Bitcoin the biggest scam ever, and then now
He
JP
called
Morgan's
it
going to
Pet
start
Rock, I think, right?
a pet rock. They're about to let their high net worth individuals borrow against Bitcoin, massive loans. It's like it's.
I mean, that's
completely
huge.
mainstream. Completely mainstream.
I mean, this is another one. Gold bit. We've done this on the pod before, but it's like price anything in Bitcoin. You've seen that.
yeah, same with gold, right? Like if you price your home
Same
in
with gold.
gold,
It's just like flat. It's just like there's a like if you make that comparison in either direct, obviously gold is like has preserved purchasing power better than the dollar has. But then if you then overlay Bitcoin on top of gold, it's still over a 10, 15 year time frame has been dominated.
domination.
Sovereign, energy secured digital capital.
All
That's
right,
the
boys,
one-
should we move on to the next topic? Yeah, sorry, I was looking at the agenda because we got a couple more things to go through. Is there anything else on that before we talk about?
No, that's great. Let's do it.
All right, so let's do AI music. I know we've kind of talked about it on the pod before, but have you guys been seeing some of these banger tunes? I mean, I'm going to play you a couple, and I'm not going to lie, these ones are actually slapping right
Hit 'em,
now. Let
hit
me
'em.
play this. This is Craig David, 7 Days. Let me just give it.
On my way to see my friend.
It's amazing. This is so good.
Lived a couple blocks away from me.
Wait, they made a Craig David voice song?
From the 80s, but yeah. But it's just like, I would listen. I legit have a playlist of these songs. It's really good. It's like,
Okay,
anyway,
give me
you
the
get the
next
idea
one. This
there.
is great.
50 Cent.
You've heard the
Many
50
Men.
Cent
You
ones,
probably
Trump.
heard this one.
No, hit
Insane.
me.
Oh, Trung, you're gonna love
Oh,
it.
Trung, look at this. This is a banger.
Blood in my eye, dog, and I can't see.
I want to see Trung's face.
Wait,
Incredible.
what is he singing?
Many men.
What I'm destined
I'm trying to read here. Oh my goodness, man.
Can you hear it? Yeah. Trung,
Yeah.
All
trying to take my
right. Sorry about that.
Look at that top comment. Curtis Jackson
Jack
on the
the
unit.
units.
put a hole in a
All right. Anyway, we get the idea, right? So,
I suspect 50 is loving this. He's a
well,
very.
I was gonna say
smart-
because I legit there's a whole album with some of these on it, and they're really good. Like they actually sound really good. And I was listening to it recently, and then it got taken down off Spotify, so it's on YouTube still. So we probably will get flagged because we played it, but whatever. But man, that's a banger. And then outside of this, there was like some sort of like house tune that I'd listened to recently, and it was so good. And all the comments were like, "Man, who made this? And it came out that it's like an AI artist, and it's just kind of getting to a level where some of these songs are actually hitting. So I know it's kind of linked to, so Suno, you said, is the company that
Suno
you know, right?
and Udio are the big ones.
They're the two big ones, but
Yeah.
OpenAI, I'm just a little extra comment here. OpenAI is reportedly working on new music generation tool days after the news that AI music app Suno reportedly quadrupled its ARR to 150 million, which is crazy. New
Yeah.
reports claim that OpenAI is working on music generation tool. According to the information, ChatGPT Maker is working on new text to audio prompt music tool that will add custom soundtracks to videos or instrumentals to vocal tracks. So yeah, I mean, it's going mainstream. I mean, 150 million is significant.
It's crazy.
revenue.
So people were asking, it's like, who's paying
Who's
for
going to
this?
use it?
Dude, I mean, it's like, I think you and Jack would understand. So all these agency worlds, right? It's like instead of licensing a song for, again, this sucks, right? That means it sucks in.
Yeah, for the artist. For a lot of, well, it depends how you look at it. But
It depends
for a
how
lot,
you
if
look
they're
at
not
it,
getting
right?
paid, like Craig David's probably not getting paid off that.
No, but I mean,
And-
like even an artist making like 50K a year making jingles on the side, right? Is like,
That's true.
But maybe they're just using Suno now, right? So, and a lot of artists are using this technology as a first draft of songs they want to try out. But man, 150 ARR in 2 years, that's crazy, dude.
I guess,
150
Trunk,
mil.
the bigger question is, in my opinion,
Suno is doing that. That's
yeah,
Suno's
150
doing that.
million ARR. Well, it says ARR, so that could be that they did 1 month and times 12 or whatever. But still,
They,
They're
they
doing
don't have
nine-figure.
any gating on like use this like in the
No,
style of 50 Cent.
they're in negotiations with all the record labels now.
Labels.
It
And
sounds
they're
like
probably big,
it's
so
cyclic.
big that they're gonna get there. They're gonna
Yeah.
get what they want.
It's going to be very similar to Spotify situation in the sense of like I think the stickling point is they want a big ownership in Suno. I think that's what's happening.
but also, Trunk, just think of how
Man,
this isn't a
mental.
clean thing where on YouTube or Spotify you're playing an old song, there's content ID, you get paid per stream. This is you're using it for training data, and then
Yeah.
you're, in this case, remaking a song, which is at least kind of close enough. But a lot of them are just brand new songs, but have been trained on this old data, which it's like a remix. Trunk, did you also see the Brazilian funk song? This was one of the top 10 trending songs on TikTok.
Same
it was,
idea.
And it was basically, what's even more interesting is because it's in a language most people that are listening.
Portuguese?
Well, it's in Portuguese, but like me and you would be listening to it, and it sounds good. It sounds like 50s old funk tune, but like Brazilian, and you can be humming along to it. And then they do these reaction videos where people who speak Portuguese are listening to it, and then they hear the lyrics, and they're like, it's pretty dark, like some of the stuff that's happening.
Oh, the lyrics are yeah.
But it's like my Brazilian grandma reacts to this song, and it's kind
Yeah.
of a funny juxtaposition
So
between
Jack,
the two.
I know Jack. I like how Jack put the kibosh there, guys. We're not gonna listen to this. So for the listeners, "Country Girl Make Do." It's on YouTube. Listen to it. Show it to your parents. Get the reaction because it starts off sounding like a country song, and then it gets real. Okay. The last thing I'll add on this, similar. Love your guys' take because it's both your industry. Mondelez, big viral article, said it spent $40 million building an internal AI video generating model. Okay, so they trained it on all their assets. They're saying they're saving $100,000 per video now. They've already started using some of these assets on social media. They expect in the next 18 months, they can generate an entire TV ad for the Super Bowl So Super Bowl 2027. So they're saying they're cutting marketing costs by 30 to 40% with this $40 million investment. I want your thoughts on this. It reminds me of something Jack said about Mid-Journey and putting the car in the forest, where you used to have to spend $100,000 just to get a Ferrari put in the forest with the crew. And what does this Mondelez news, I can't wait for the crazy Oreo ads, tell you?
Didn't we see the Polymarket one? What was that? That was
Or Kalshi or Polymarket, one of them.
One of them.
They did a full
It must
AI
have been
only
Kalshi, actually.
ad. Yeah.
Oh, on Super
been
Bowl?
No, it was on some big thing though. Was it like some like Game 7 or something?
I found
forget.
it. It's in our notes. I've got it.
Oh, will there be a fully? Well, there was an AI generated ad for the NBA Finals. So you're saying for the World
I
Series?
would
Here we go,
say-
boys. Remember
I
this?
would
Does this
guess-
ring a bell? Remember
Yeah.
this?
Yes.
That's the one, yeah?
Game 3. There you go. There you go.
Look, it was actually pretty good, to be honest. But anyway.
Yeah, look, 48 hours to make. I mean, I would be very shocked. I'm sure that like a lot of these ad agencies will want to maintain the positioning that like we need to shoot this stuff properly, and it's like a different level of craft and all of these things, which in a lot of cases is obviously true. But I would be shocked if like we make a little wager now that we don't see more than like half a dozen purely AI ads next year. Super
Even
Bowl, maybe
not
more.
if purely AI, Jack. I literally this weekend I met a guy who's 25 years in advertising, specifically motion, like design and graphics and video, and he's just left a year ago, started his own agency, and they're AI focused. And he's not like a,
Yeah,
a
killer.
22-year-old AI everything. He's like old school, probably like 45 years old plus. And one thing he brought up, which I didn't think about, is that the big agencies, the big six, is it? Big six or big four? Big six. Big four is accounting, right? So the big six agencies, they all have specific licensing deals and agreements with like Google, for example, right? So or Meta, they all have like ad and technology deals that are worth like billions of dollars. So they often within those get negotiated stuff like you will use Gemini only for this sort of
Yeah.
stuff, or you get preferential treatment for stuff like that. You get cheaper deals or whatever, or credits to use. But interestingly, he's being subcontracted by a lot of these agencies to be tool agnostic. So like his job is just to look at the best tools and bring that when they're using it for client work or whatever they're doing, creative work.
Sick positioning, really. That's
But
pretty
crazy,
clever,
yeah. It's a great position for him. And then also it made me think about at a macro level, companies like Google, Meta, like I forgot about those deals. Like they're literally called upfront deals a lot of the time. And did you ever go to like Brandcast and like stuff like that? Or there's this big event where people will come for these upfronts where TV buyers and sellers are basically selling shit to each other traditionally, and now a lot of it is digital. And so part of my job back then was to speak to the brands and to sign 2-3 year deals. And in the 2-3 year deals is like, it's called upfront. So you're basically saying for the next 3 years, you're committing to spend this amount of money. For that, you're getting all these, preferential treatment or services and stuff like that. So just in terms of like OpenAI, they're still going to be completely fine. But I didn't actually think about that because that gives someone like Google a massive upper hand in like basically getting people to use Gemini, let's say, or VO in this case. So, but yeah, it's definitely happening, man. Even if it's not a full commercial, it would be like the B-roll or like you normally. I remember you telling me with your boy, for the car company, you guys would be flying somewhere just to get like a 30-second look at something. Now you could easily do some of that at least from AI.
And I think it's still like this, maybe even more pronounced now, like the difference in talent. Like people who are truly good at this stuff are like order of magnitude better. And because the hard costs are basically the same, the difference in the output is nuts. Like what that used to be like a capital intense thing, right? Like create an ad that is visually impressive is like how much money can you spend, how many people can you have work on it, what like beautiful part of the world can you shoot in. Now it's all mental ceiling capacity for ideas and imagination is infinite essentially. And yeah, that's cool. It's cool to hear that people are just leaning fully into it, because that's also one huge portion of the agency model is just like outsourcing all your risk and shit. So it's just like, oh, we don't have the permission to use this. I have a friend I think I mentioned who sells Adobe software, and they basically is all done on like compliance stuff. It's like, oh, we could train a model on all of your content, so you're never in like infringing copyright in the ads you put out, because you know you do something with Midjourney and you're whatever, I don't know, some massive insurance company, and then you get sued for using somebody's content. That's like a huge risk.
Yeah, but like, what a great niche though. Like, so everyone needs
Incredible.
that. Every agency needs that, and he's the guy for that, I bet.
What is that
Yeah, I
role
wish I could
called?
go back in for a
Chief
Value
Generating
extractor.
Officer. Max, Chief
Max
CMO,
extractor.
Chief Max Value Extractor Officer.
There we go. Respect, but you know,
Max
I
extract.
love those little where someone just lands in it, and you're like, oh, I'm just going to be the guy that sells Adobe to all the agencies or whatever. Smart,
Yeah.
Killer.
yeah.
All right, boys. And last, let's talk about the bet. Everything is betting, or everything is getting to speculation markets. There's two big stories here. One is the NBA obviously has got a betting scandal. We don't need to break down everything unless you guys want to share anything on it. That's ongoing, it looks like. But it's gone so high up, like the FBI director, what's her name? Kash Patel, whatever. He's like talking about it, right? Like it's
Well, dude,
the
this
feds
made
are
front
involved.
page news of the New York Times, which
Yeah,
is insane
crazy.
for a sports story.
Crazy.
So,
But then separately, I saw this literally, I think today, in the last 24 hours. I'm just going to play this one clip. This is from Sky Sports. This is the Turkish football league, right? So think of that what you will. But here is Sky Sports just to give us a quick recap of it. Wait, can you guys hear it? Because I
Muted in the top left.
yeah.
And in this press conference, this
one
is
sec.
truly extraordinary, Mike. We had a
It's mad.
news conference today held by the president of the Turkish Football Federation. And in this press conference, he revealed that there are 571 match
mental.
officials in Turkey. He
That's
said out of those
insane.
571, 371 of them have
371.
betting accounts. And he said that 152 of them are actively gambling on football.
It's crazy.
And
all right,
incredibly,
there's a whole clip there. We don't need to go through all of it, but that's a crazy amount, right? So this is just two anecdotes of, what we're seeing in our world. Like, you go to Polymarket and you can bet on how many times someone's going to shake a hand when they're meeting Trump, or how long it's going to take for them to shake a hand, or like crazy stuff, right? Like, it's just it's insane, the level. While you guys are talking about, I'm going to pull it up because some of the stuff on here is crazy. We've also talked, to keep it balanced, we've also talked about the power of something like Polymarket to be a really good predictor of what's actually going to happen. For example, in the political, the last few big votes for that presidential election, Democrat nominee, it did front run a lot of the traditional polling. Right now, obviously, this weekend or this week is the New York, where I live, mayor election showing Zoran 90% as well, chance of winning. So this is already, that's already known within the polling world. But before he became the favorite, it was like 30% or something in the polls, or like 20%. And on here, it was way higher because people actually betting on it. So yeah, I guess the question is it going too far, basically, by this point? The fact that there's sports betting, there's prediction markets for any market that you can kind of come up with. And now we're layering in political corruption. We've obviously, kind of covered it with the front running of some of the stuff that happened with Trump announcing something and people betting on a deal happening with China, stuff like that. Just want to get your take on that because it's a big macro trend.
I'll give the sports betting one because a lot of things are happening in that world, and I'm sure a lot of listeners are involved in it. So let me just throw out 5 bullet points. Bullet point number 1 is these sports betting apps, I think, are a massive scam. And the reason I say that is because they throttle good players. Like, if they find that you're outperforming,
it's like the casino, no? Casino, you kind of get.
But even the casino, you're right. They'll throttle you, but you can go to high limit
Win
tables.
too big, you're out.
Yeah, you win
That's
too.
what's his name? Harala.
Haralabab, yeah, that's Haralabab's whole thing about the betting
Banned
app.
from everything, right? Yeah.
Well, Haralabab made probably probably 9 figures betting NBA, the greatest NBA sports bettor ever, banned from everything, like you said, Jack, and he's very vocal about going against these sports betting apps, even though he made a fortune sports betting. And his whole point is because they throttle you, right? It's like it's not a fair. So you guys are probably seeing. So this brings me to a second point. You guys are probably seeing with Kalshi and Polymarket. Have you guys seen the volume that sports now make up on those platforms? These prediction markets
It's the biggest segment.
80 to 90% sports now.
Crazy.
And they get
So
to
they're
run
coming for
around.
DraftKings, FanDuel. They're the two big ones here.
And there's a couple things. They don't have to play by the exact same rules. So there's something that they don't have. They don't have these parlays, right? Where you bet and random, like 15 leg
Like
parlays.
a multiplier. In Europe, we call it like a multiplier.
The
yeah.
multipliers.
Hacker.
LeBron's going to score 20. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to win, and Mahomes is going to throw 200 yards, and like Taylor Swift will be seen once, right? Like that parlay with insane payouts. I mean, so DraftKings and FanDuel make so much money on parlays. The odds on those are so skewed to the apps. So that's another thing about them that I'm not crazy about. The apps don't let you win, and they're skewed. So the one thing I will say about Polymarket Kalshi going into sports is this. It's a gate. If it becomes a gateway for people to be on the platform and provide liquidity for all the other things, that's a positive, right? It's like Jack was saying, it's like an information and truth finder. But if you're really just on these apps to sports bet, I mean, that's up to the volume showing. At a minimum, I will say this, you're not getting screwed like you're on FanDuel and DraftKings, right? Because it's a prediction market. There's somebody on the other side of that prediction. You can win and lose as much as is allowed because the business model of Kalshi and Polymarket is to take commission on the volume. Whereas in DraftKings and FanDuel, they literally need to bend you over and make sure you don't win too much, right? On the lines. So that's what I'll say about the sports aspect. On the NBA side, I'll say NBA made a huge gamble. Bilal, you showed that video of the Sky Sports, the Turkish league. It's like people don't remember, but 7 years ago, Adam Silver took out a front opinion piece in the New York Times arguing for gambling, and the issue with that was that the NBA yoked itself to sports gambling. Although, I guess in the Europe, people have been doing. I mean, you've had.
I was going to say Betfair for 20 years.
Yeah.
Like I did it at uni,
It's been ages, right?
It was also two-sided marketplace, for and against.
Right.
It's honestly how I learned about basically the stock market, how it works, was from that, because I was learning that you can bet for and then later, like during a game, you would bet against because the odds have changed. And then later, that you used to have to manually calculate, and now you press a button, it like cashes you out.
Well, Betfair is owned by Flutter Entertainment, which also owns FanDuel.
Yeah, and
like
also
a bunch of other
FanDuel,
ones.
who I had the guy on the pod, Nigel Eccles. He's an Irish guy, and history is he's from Northern Ireland, and he saw what was happening there, and he brought it here basically because he saw that that the laws were going to change.
So
but
that's
he basically
the connection.
brought that
That's
model.
the connection with That's the connection with Flutter Entertainment owning.
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
Exactly.
Okay, so super quickly is we could the NBA. So the NBA issue is that the NBA has yoked itself to sports gambling, and I mean there's a couple easy solutions. Solution number one is don't let people do prop bets on like the 12th man on the bench. There's no reason why a random dude that plays 5 minutes a game should be able to have prop bets, right? And that was one of the big things. Terry Rozier is a starter, by the way. He's the NBA guy that got caught basically telling his friend that he was going to play under 10 minutes and fake an injury, pull himself out. He was making 24 mil a year. So it sounded like in that case, he's just trying to do one of his buddies a solid, and it just completely spiraled. You're just trying to hook a buddy up. But I think Kalshi, Polymarket in the long run, these are information finding, truth telling mechanisms. I don't necessarily know if they'll end up swallowing all the other markets. It's good. I think it's good to have variety, good to have choice. But yeah, I mean, super interesting what they're happening, and it's hilarious that sports has become 90% of them. It's just people like sports gambling, right? Flutter Entertainment is a $50 billion company. But those are my thoughts on the gambling and the.
Yeah, I guess I mean, we're gonna have to cut it here in a second. Jack had to go, and I got to run as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess the overall question, I guess for the audience, love to get their take as well, is just, is this net positive or net negative? Like overall, all of us here are probably for free markets to like play out, but also just zooming out, like, yeah, is this making society better or worse? And there are limits. Like I'm all for people betting for fun if they get some entertainment out of that. But for every person who's just betting like $20 on the game on the weekend, there's someone who gets seriously down the rabbit hole, loses their life savings. Yeah. So there needs to be more protections around that. And now the fact that we're getting so much what seems to be insider trading equivalent, or basically it's not a fair market when someone is clearly betting against a massive bet against, the price of something, and then like 20 minutes, like there's a tweet that changes the trajectory of something. It seems like there's a lot of that going on as well. So yeah, I guess that by having more of these markets, there's more of a tool. There's more tools for people to make money in an illegal way, essentially. And I don't think there's any enforcement of the regulation properly. Maybe it will come later down the road, like 5 years later.
You're talking the prediction markets.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm not saying they're not following rules. Like as a platform, they probably are. But I mean, when someone is illegally getting inside information.
Well, here's a point to your point. Is it illegal, right? It hasn't been determined. I think that's what you're saying.
I guess.
It hasn't.
But like, for example, insider trading, if you knew, let's just use the example that we saw without getting political, Trump's about to announce a tweet about China deal or Bitcoin or something that we know is going to hit a risk asset like Bitcoin, and it's the weekend, and the only thing that's going to get hit is the crypto market. Yeah. And then 3 minutes later, that tweet goes out and you make $100 million or whatever it is. That was actually on Hyperliquid.
It's actually not insider trading, which is why, to your point, we need to figure this out, right?
Yeah, exactly. All right, Trung, good to chat to you. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We'll be back next week. We got to run. Have a good one, boys. Enjoy.
Peace.